Hi guys, we are so excited today to record episode 1 of the Kit and Krysta Podcast.
We're doing
finally
it.
Here.
It's been a long road to get here.
Yeah. It's definitely been a long road. It's been like a unexpected road, which we'll get into in a little bit, to get here. We announced everything earlier last week.
Right.
And just saw like the most incredible response from you guys. And we were so happy because you just never know. I don't know. I always get nervous.
Well, it was kind of like when we, finished Nintendo Minute and left Nintendo. It's like, all right, there's going to be some reaction.
Yeah.
But you don't know what it is.
Right. You have maybe some like predictions of what it might be like or feel like, but you just don't know until you get there. And
right.
It is scary, when you leave the sort of the safety net of Nintendo and just we put ourselves out there and just hope that, I don't know, people care. People still care. Do you guys still care? This is where everyone just turns it off. No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah, we don't care actually.
Actually, bye. But no, seem to care. So
that's great. So we're going through with this.
Yeah, so I guess we're locked in now, right? But it's awesome. Like I just have taken this weekend to sort of process everything and just now we're here sitting down to record the first episode, and it feels like it's super real and it's really
We've had a lot of opportunities for reflection. I gotta say, I'm done with reflection. I'm ready to get going.
Yeah, exactly. We've thought about this way too much. Now it's just let's just do it and get going with it. But yes, we're very excited
now
to talk.
You and I have a bit of a disagreement already.
What?
We're just getting started. So you think gosh, it's going to be all, Nintendo Minute fans who are listening to this, and hopefully there's, a good number of them. But there might be some people who don't really know us yet. So maybe we should do a quick introduction. Icebreaker.
Oh, the icebreaker.
Yeah.
Like the corporate
retreat icebreaker.
Do I need to do that thing where we try to get out of a human knot or something like
trust
that?
fall. Yeah.
I don't want to do that with you. No trust falls. I'll trust fall with Boo though.
Okay.
Every day, any day. Okay, well, let's do that, I guess, for anyone that's new here. You can go first.
So we're Kit and Krysta. We worked at Nintendo for me, 13 years, you, 14 years. Kind of came up through the communications department, doing all sorts of things, starting with public relations and eventually social media and creator relations and content creation. And we're probably most well known for Nintendo Minute, which is the web show that we did for 8 years, 400 plus episodes, thousands of accolades.
Thousands of accolades?
I mean, literally thousands of accolades in my head.
Hundreds to thousands.
Yeah, several to many. That's the quick who we are. And now we're,
TLDR.
We left and we are still here, still together, doing things.
We're still here, still together. I think, what's really amazing, throughout this journey is that we really learned about how to, again, connect with the community. That's something that we were lucky enough to get to do when we were working at Nintendo. Not everybody gets to have that one-to-one connection with you guys. And even though we've left Nintendo, that's what we want to do here. So it's the perfect transition, I think, for us. And we want to do that with you guys. We want to do it together. So that's a little bit about us, I guess.
But this is a bit, we used to make, short videos. This is a podcast. This is a long time. Can you do this? Are you up to the challenge?
You're making me very nervous.
Of talking for this long.
And maybe you need some water, but I'm good.
Your relevancy might just dissipate by the time we get to the 30-minute mark.
The
I don't know.
30-minute mark? Yeah. I start to fade away.
A lot of people don't know this about me with good reason. I have a tiny bladder. So I'm particularly worried about that.
Having to go to the bathroom.
I don't want to take breaks. I don't want to be one of these shows we're taking 10 breaks. No, we're going to do this.
We're just going to do it. Yeah, we're just going to do it all the way through.
Several potted plants around us strategically.
Oh my gosh, that's disgusting. Do you have a water bottle
I didn't say anything.
Don't touch the excited plant.
We did adjust the plant so I don't jostle it.
Yeah, it's already flourishing, just like our journey together.
Yeah. And Nintendo Minute was completely unscripted, but here you are with this piece of paper with, your whole lot
paper.
Hello and welcome
to the Kit.
This is
and Krysta.
This is like when
podcast.
I found in your car that crumpled up piece of paper that said ABF, always be funny.
Always be funny.
Why did you have that?
In Comic Sans.
But why? No, that was something else.
Everyone needs to manifest.
That was something else.
Everyone needs to manifest their best selves.
Okay.
That's why I had it.
But what is on this paper?
Sir, we are very professional today, shockingly. Because, like you said, this is longer than Nintendo Minute.
There's more to keep track of.
We got a whole thing of what we want to talk about today. We're going to like dive into the burning question that you guys have of why we left Nintendo, what actually happened. We will answer and give you exactly the details that you've been waiting for. And then we're going to talk about like the Nintendo Direct. We got news.
So this is episode 1. You know, we've kind of got an idea of how this episode's going to go. Maybe we'll revisit that in the future. But yeah, we're going to start with a big, Nintendo story, and we'll have that in every episode.
Nintendo story time.
And then what comes after that? We have
already. This is why we have the paper. And then we have a very fun, like Nintendo Minute-esque Kit and Krysta segment.
Right.
You know, you guys are again. Some of you might be familiar with the types of like stuff we used to do in Nintendo Minute. We're gonna do that. Yeah, basically nonsense. We're gonna do that a little bit here, and we might expand that out, to something more, because I feel like that's where we both have a lot of fun doing that, being ridiculous. So that's kind of the goal.
Yeah.
And then newsy things.
We've got some news stuff. We're not a news outlet by any means. No. So we're not doing it that way, but
just opinions.
Talk about what we think of it. And then just some games that we're playing.
Yeah.
And then we got comments. Well, we got a lot of comments.
From you guys.
We'll be talking about those, yes.
Whoa.
Comments, questions, we'll be answering those.
Yeah.
And then we'll be done.
And then we'll be done.
Yeah.
And then we might add stuff to it. You guys tell us what you guys want us to talk about, and we'll put it in here.
Yeah. We're also on Patreon. We should talk about that a little bit.
Our Patreon family is growing quickly.
Thank you to our wonderful, beautiful
much.
Patreon members. Thank you.
I was floored by the response because you guys haven't even heard episode 1
We haven't done anything.
You haven't done anything. You trust us. Oh my God.
And this is where I'm making a run for the border.
We'll see you in sunny Mexico. No, just kidding. I was totally floored by this. And so, of course, we will be prioritizing Patreon comments. You guys are getting first dibs on, asking us questions, and we'll be answering that. We're going to add a lot of other new fun things to Patreon as well.
Right now, we have a single solitary Patreon tier right now.
Right.
Which is get the show early access 48 hours. There's a lot more that we want to do on Patreon, but as we were going through this process, we talked to a lot of people who are, big time on Patreon.
Yeah.
It was great Kind of Funny, Easy Allies, Min-Max, all these people, and they gave us such good advice.
Our friends and allies
in
the world of Patreon.
And one of their legit takeaways was don't overdo it from the beginning.
Yeah.
So we are starting as small as we can, making sure we can do it, and then
do it well, and do it to the expectations that we want for you guys.
Yeah.
And then this is just like the beginning of the journey. So I'm seeing this as like a really great way to build a foundation, and then we're gonna grow this community, as we move along.
Yeah, so we got a long list of things that we, might hopefully one day do on Patreon, but we'll get there when it feels right.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. But thank you again for everyone that's joined, and we'll of course put all the info if you guys are interested in joining.
Join today.
But literally join today.
Yeah. We literally cannot do the show without the Patreon members. So again, thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
But this is the Kit and Krysta podcast. We did come up with some interesting names before we got to this point.
Gosh.
There was a lot of brainstorming.
There was some brainstorming. Not all of them were good.
Yeah, there was the Krysta Yang Vanity Project starring Kit Ellis.
It was featuring Kit Ellis, but featuring Kit Ellis, produced and starring Krysta Yang.
What are you? Are you a co-host? Are you my sidekick? Are you the comedic relief? What are you?
I'm your putty pal. I'm your pixel pal.
I jotted down some names some rejected names. Pixel pals.
Pixel pal.
I liked that one.
That one was your idea.
That was my idea, so I liked it. The co-op crew.
Sometimes we're not co-op though, so.
But if you replace the C's with a K, now you're getting zany. Now you're getting fun. See?
I don't like that.
Oh. And then we had Unlocked with Kit and Krysta, and I think that's where we started to get to the point. It's like, let's just be Kit and Krysta.
Yeah.
Because that's who we are. People know us.
Yeah,
so why overcomplicate it?
This is again, don't overthink it, people.
Right.
We just decided to go with a very simple naming thing, brand, whatever.
Yeah.
And then, of course, you guys saw our beautiful logos that Lee Kovacs made for us. Oh my gosh.
Oh, our wonderful collaborators, yes.
Our wonderful collaborators.
Everything visual made by Lee Kovacs, who is legitimately one of the greatest artists I've ever seen in my life.
Yeah, she can do everything, anything.
Yeah.
Animated, logos,
painting, logos,
paintings.
costumes.
What can you not do, Lee? Tell us.
Yeah.
I don't think there's an end to your talent.
And we've known her for
so many years.
10-something years more.
She just posted something on her Instagram that was 8 years ago. I was or like 7 years ago, I was on my way to Nintendo to show off my Hilda costume on Nintendo Minute.
Yeah.
Like, that is how long our relationship has been going on. It's crazy.
And of course, we got our music from Dale North, who is becoming a superstar before our very eyes. Every
Becoming or has already
Every
become.
time I email him, I'm like, can he still fit us in? Are we going to get the brush off now?
He's like, I'm sorry.
I'm too big for you.
Exactly. Yeah. Like, I'm making an album, so like, bye.
Hasn't happened yet.
No. So gracious and wonderful. And of course, Dale wrote all of the many variations of Nintendo Minute themes. And so we're so happy to have him write the theme for the Kit and Krysta podcast. Yeah. And you guys in the comments were like, it kind of has like a Wii vibe. That is exactly my like, when I first heard it, I was like, yes, it has like a Wii, kind of like a Wii Mi Plaza vibe to it. I love it.
I think you're misremembering what the Mi Plaza music sounds like. Because after you said that, I was like, oh, that's not what I thought. And then I looked all those things up, and it sounded nothing like that.
Maybe it's just your ears.
So my ears are pristine. Okay?
Maybe it's your ears.
Maybe it's you. No.
But it's great. We love it. We hope that you guys like the theme as well. Because you'll be hearing it a lot, honestly. So
that's all we got right now.
Pretty much all we got. Yeah. But thanks, Dale. What else do we have to talk about before we jump into this week's Nintendo story time?
I will say, if you are listening through your favorite podcast service, we are also on video on YouTube/Kit and Krysta.
Yes.
If you enjoy watching us, it's not going to be the fanciest video ever, because it's just here sitting down next to some plants and talking. But
with Rob and the slime.
Maybe you like that.
Maybe you'll like it. Yeah. We'll do some little cut downs on YouTube as well. Yeah. So if you want to only listen to the Nintendo Storytime stuff, for example, we'll make it
all easy. The good stuff.
I mean, it's all good.
Not this prattle.
What do you mean? It's all good.
So it'll be all me talking. Got it. Good.
Welcome to the Krysta Podcast, starring Kit.
Yeah.
I mean, featuring Kit.
Let me clear the air.
Okay.
Big fan.
Of me?
I'm a big fan. Yeah.
Wow.
Just gotta clear the air before we
like
get going.
Turn for the better here. Yeah, you guys think that we don't like each other, but obviously we're here together and there's no gun to our heads.
I think there's some stuff about that in our Q&A that we'll
exactly. Okay.
All right.
Let's jump into the big topic.
Let's go, yeah.
Yeah, so again, this is going to be a topic that's going to be on every episode of the podcast. You and I, when we were starting to conceive of this idea.
Ideate?
It's
a word that's terrible.
I hate that word. It's so corporate. But we were trying to let's just start writing a list of Nintendo Storytime topics and see what happens. I think we're up to 150.
We got a lot.
Something crazy, ridiculous. And there's still more that come to mind all the time.
Yeah.
So no end to this wellspring of stories for sure. But today we wanted to talk about something that we've just gotten so many questions, and for a good reason. Yeah. Which is, why in the world would we leave our dream jobs at Nintendo? What actually happened? It happened really fast. It was a lot.
How did we get to here?
How do we get to here? Yeah. How do we feel about it? That's not something that we've talked about. Is the facts are there, certainly, but we have not talked about how we felt about it and all the gamut of emotions that we ran through to get to where we are today. So that's what we're gonna dig into that today.
Good.
Yeah. So let's rewind the clock.
Right. So where should we go back to?
Back to September of 2021.
Yeah, September of 2021. Right. Yeah. So we got the news that so we should say Nintendo headquarters is in Redmond, Washington, near Seattle.
Yes.
We are not in that office. We were not in that office.
Yeah.
We were in Redwood City, California.
And that is the entire sales and marketing office for Nintendo of America.
Right.
They had moved that office to California 14 years ago.
Yeah, and you were one of the first people there.
First people there. And we'll go into that in a different thing. But so we were basically in they call it a satellite office, right?
Right. And we got the news that office was going to be closing.
Yeah.
And
very shocking news, honestly.
Right. Yeah. And that we were going to be asked to relocate up to Redmond.
Yeah.
And I'd say that was something where I give the company credit, was everybody who wanted to go could go.
Yeah, they were gonna, they were doing great things to help
very
relocate people.
Accommodating for all of that.
Yeah, and there were definitely people where they were happy to move and happy to do it, and it made sense for them. So
yeah, there were totally people who'd been thinking about it.
Yeah,
and for them it was probably like
perfect timing.
a very happy day.
So it was like definitely when we were talking to people that we worked with for so many years, our friends, it was like two sides of this very emotional time. People that were happy that they were able to move and go to Redmond, and people that were struggling because it was a big like life change, So it was interesting, like an interesting dynamic for sure.
Yeah. So you said you didn't expect it would ever happen. On one hand, I didn't, because that had happened once before, moving everybody down here to California.
Yeah.
And you just heard like, oh, that was such a difficult thing. Like people really struggled with that, and they lost
talent.
So many great people who'd been with the company for so long. So on that side, it's like, well, maybe they wouldn't want to go through that again. They know the turmoil that can bring. But on the other hand, it's like, well, they have it in them to do that
to
sort
do
of
kinds
thing.
of things like
to
this.
just like rip the Band-Aid off.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So it was like sort of, at first it was shocking, and then again you think about it and you're like, well, the reason why I had gotten the job at Nintendo in the first place was because they moved to California. So it's like, well, now it's like the reverse of that.
Yeah.
Yeah, but they also, we were in a pandemic. There was a lot of changes just overall to companies all over the world of how what working is going to be like. And so surely these are thoughts that I'm sure crossed the minds of people that were making this decision. So, and it definitely, timing-wise, it seemed to be also catalyzed by that a little bit too.
Now, I had been through one of these office closures before.
You have. This is like your second time around on this. This is where like I closed this office.
We should say we are recording this in a bedroom in your mom's house, right?
My mom just like kicks you out. She's like, get out.
I mean, your mom could just emerge at any moment
with like tea.
Yeah. How's it going?
We affectionately call this the launch house.
So So first of all, thank you to Krysta's mom for having us.
Thank you, Mom. We love you.
But yeah, so I worked 2 jobs before Nintendo at Konami.
Right.
Back when Konami was still doing video games and not pachinko nonsense.
Gyms.
So yeah, it was the same thing where, most of the people doing sales and marketing this was like 2 blocks actually away from the Nintendo office.
That's true. It was like
makes
the same like weird office
even funnier.
park.
And it was like, we want everybody to move to LA, and it was the same deal where like very few people actually went through with it. So these moves are dicey.
They are very dicey. Yeah.
So I kind of knew, what to expect as far as how people were going to take the news.
Because you were so like great to everyone that was like really struggling. Like you led the entire, social original content influencer team. It was a big team that you were like heading up, and there are some people that really had a really hard time, and like at least because you went through it once, you were able to like share some perspective.
Right.
For people that were like really just having just the hardest time kind of coming to grips with it.
And I think it's like, it truly is like getting, difficult life news.
It is.
And it's like every day you are going to look at this a little differently and think about this a little differently. So don't like make a snap judgment or a snap decision.
Because you're like going through like the stages of grief or whatever it is, because it's like, I'm angry, and then like I accept this, and then
totally.
Like,
there's all these other ones,
and then it's like, and there's like, all these different things. You like one day you feel really emotional about it, and at least for me, I was just like up and down on this like emotional roller coaster for months, for a couple months, trying to figure out what my next move was going to be.
Right. For me though, it was like very just immediate of like, I'm not going to be doing this.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, recording my mom's house, but both our families are here. We grew up in the Bay Area. This is the place that we love to live. And the other thing too, like for me personally, and you and I talked about this a lot, is like as much as we love Nintendo, and we truly, truly do, and we really enjoyed our time and the experience we had working there, like it's still a job. Right?
Yeah.
And you just don't want like a big corporation or a job to dictate your life. Like that part was so important to me.
So it's amazing because so we have summer interns. We had a absolutely phenomenal summer intern, Sarah. I'll give her a shout out.
Yeah, love you, Sarah.
And before she left at the end of the summer, she asked me a question that was like almost exactly the same as what happened. Maybe she knew.
Sarah.
And it was like, would you ever move for a job? And I think she was just, thinking scenarios for her own future.
Her own self,
and I said, well, no, I really wouldn't want to do that because I don't want a job to dictate that much of my life.
Exactly.
A job is a big part of your life, but it's not everything.
Your whole life, right?
And I think there's a lot of scenarios where a job could take you to maybe, again, a place you've been curious about or expose you to something that you've been curious about, but that's not what it is for everybody.
Yeah, exactly. And you should be dictating that for your life, not this, business. Because at the end of the day, it's still a business relationship that you have between you and this job that you're working at, right?
Yeah.
So that part was really important to us. Like, we just had that, like, both of us really very quickly when this news was shared with us, we had like this boundary that we drew that was pretty like, we're not going to cross this boundary, personally. Yeah. But I mean, everyone's, of course, free to make your own decisions about what you want to do with your life. But like for us, I'm glad that we agreed, because it would have been really bad if one person was like, so I'm moving to Seattle. See you later. This friendship is over.
We're doing auditions for the new Nintendo Minute host. It ain't going to be you.
It's not going to be you. Oh my God. That's an awful, like, this is like a parallel universe scenario that this is like a Loki universe that I don't want any part of. No, thank you.
The other thing that's interesting is like, so you mentioned like, we're still in this pandemic, and, I think for a lot of people, especially early on, the pandemic was this like eye-opening experience to see like, well, what is important to me and what do I want to prioritize in my life? And you saw people, this great resignation that started.
Yeah.
And all these people started to move jobs and leave jobs. And I think, the Nintendo perspective was, I think the company did a good job of trying to keep people feeling very stable. Mm-hmm. We were in the middle of a huge launch. Animal Crossing was coming out.
Oh my gosh, that's right.
2 or 3 weeks later.
Yeah. We were canceling events.
It was amazing. It was a lot of turmoil. We should talk about that because we're coming up on the 2-year anniversary. But I think a lot of people at Nintendo didn't have that same viewpoint where I need to reevaluate my life, because it just felt like, we're still working, but we're working from home. But there wasn't this insane sense of instability that I think a lot of other people felt.
That's right. Yeah.
But this was kind of the crack where you had that moment.
Right.
Where it's like, oh, this is my opportunity to think bigger picture.
That's exactly what happened. I think that's like, and for both of us too, is like we've been at this job for, over a decade.
Yeah.
You think about like your life overall and what percentage you're at now, and how much of that was at one place, at one, in one sort of environment. And then you wonder like what else is out there for me, and when is it the right time for me to make this leap to do something completely different. Like I call it like leaving the nest, because I really did grow up at Nintendo.
Yeah.
And it just feels like, either you get pushed out of the nest or you leave the nest, and it's your opportunity to like fly or not fly, So that was definitely like one of those things where it's like, is this like a sign from the universe or something that like we should move on and do something else and just be brave and just go for it? That was definitely a thought that we had. We again talked to a lot of people about this and got great advice from people that we really admired. But that was something that definitely came out from this whole like situation.
Yeah. And something that's really amazing about Nintendo is how many people stay there for a long time.
Yeah.
Like, so it's like, well, we're 13, 14 years, and people will be like, whatever.
No problem.
I'm like 25, like, 28 years.
There's somebody on our team that was that past 35 years.
Right. So, I think that a lot of people have that mindset of like, well, this is a great place and I love it here and I'm going to work here long term. Mm-hmm. And I know you had a few more close calls than I did, but there's definitely scenarios where it's like, I'd love to keep working here and have a great time here. But again, that window opening did give you a chance to reflect. And, one of the things that I thought was just like, gosh, I don't know what else I have to really accomplish here that I haven't already done. I mean, I guess you always climb the corporate ladder.
Yeah, that was something that you and I were both never very interested in, I don't think.
Right. But I mean, those jobs, sound cool, but we've seen those jobs in action, and they're very hard and very
challenging,
extremely demanding.
Yeah.
And I think we both like to really get our hands dirty and do stuff and make stuff.
Yeah, we want to be like in with you guys.
And it's just kind of a reality of like, as you climb that thing,
still a corporation,
it becomes harder to do that.
Yeah, you get like more and more sort of disconnected, and you have to sit in these really, really big important meetings, and you sort of get removed from the things that you love to do, right?
Yeah. So, for me, again, had that really immediate just, feeling, I guess I didn't follow my own advice. I was like, don't make any snap. I mean, I totally made a snap judgment.
You didn't, though. Yeah. You didn't, because you still thought about it.
I don't need to follow my own advice. Everybody else does.
That's the way to go.
That's the American way. So I was like, oh gosh, I guess I could better start looking at these jobs. And it's like, oh gosh, I really don't.
You were like very hesitant to even like make a resume.
I don't have a resume. It's like the resume I have is from like 14 years ago when I, signed on at Nintendo.
Nintendo.
Again, I never looked for a job when I was unlike you, when I was at Nintendo. So it was like, oh gosh, that whole
it's a terrible process.
Rigmarole just doesn't sound fun. Yeah. So I think that's where we started to talk like, oh, maybe we could do something just the two of us.
Yeah, exactly. And the other thing too, of course, and I think we got a bit of a question about this too, is like the creative freedom, like of course at Nintendo we were like very uniquely lucky. So
we actually had quite a bit of it compared to some other things.
Compared to like a lot of other people too. So I can't complain about that. Yeah. But again, at the end of the day, you're still like working for a brand. Like, right. There is certain things that you can and cannot do.
Certain lines you can't cross.
Lines that you can't cross. There's parts of ourselves that we basically had to like, not like suppress, but we didn't share them with you guys because we weren't able to.
Yeah. So what we shared in Nintendo Minute was absolutely us, but it was not all of us.
Exactly. It was like the Nintendo part of us. But like, people always, they were like, you have an Xbox? Like you, like, yes.
Yeah, so like I'm super happy that I never had to say like, gosh, I love this Sonic the Hedgehog game. Well, I'm sure we'll come to that bridge later. We just wouldn't do that.
We just wouldn't put it on the show.
Like, well, there's one game I don't like and a whole bunch I do. Which one am I going to talk about?
Exactly.
The one I like.
Yeah, exactly. So it's super, it's interesting the way that we sort of had to kind of carve out a piece of our authentic selves that was under like the Nintendo, that was like Nintendo brand approved, checkmarked. But there was also like another percentage of our authentic selves that we just never were able to, share with you guys as much. So like that part of it with this now, like we can just have it all.
Yeah.
100%, whether you like it or not.
But that was, again, we mentioned all the people that we spoke with to get advice.
Yeah.
And they were all like, obviously you should do this. Right. And I don't think our mind was there.
Yeah. We were like, really?
Really? You think we could do this? You think people care? And I think there's still like a part of our mind. It's like, nobody cares. But that was such an important push over the cliff to be like, no, you should really do that. You'd be silly not to.
Right. And we were like, oh, okay, this is like something obvious that we didn't put together. But yeah, I think now that we are doing this, again, too late now, so we're locked in.
Hit the stop button.
Oh no, we're locked in. But it's like, when I think about it, like we do really have a unique perspective on like the video game industry. Yeah. Like there's not a lot of people that have been deeply, deeply inside one of the biggest video game companies in the world, like worked as closely as we did on so many like historically critical moments in the industry.
Yeah, and with people who are historically critical.
Yeah, and then now we can like have this really different perspective on the video game industry as a whole too. So now it's just like, yeah, that is different and cool. And I want to talk about it.
Yeah. So it's like, when you go from one job to the next, you're bringing all of your sort of experience and skills and knowledge and moving up, and that's kind of what we're doing here.
Yeah, exactly. And we're just excited. I think, it's always going to be part of our history, our time at Nintendo, like all the stuff that we did. But, we're excited to like move forward and use that to like take us to like new places and have different experiences too.
Right. And we've also talked a lot about like, well, what do you think the folks who are at Nintendo think about us doing this?
Yeah. We love you guys. Don't be scared.
We're on great terms with everybody there.
Yes.
So it's not like we're here to like, say bad things about the company.
There's no bad things. Or
tell the secrets. We're absolutely not doing that. It's like, I think we're, we have our stories to tell, but, the great thing is they're pretty much very positive and
and they're our own stories. There are memories and perspectives on things that happen to us personally. So, I would say that is sort of a nice way for us to share this with you, is that obviously it's not going to be like, this is what the company experience is like for everybody working there or whatever. It's just like our personal experience.
Yeah. So I have to imagine there's a high degree of curiosity about it. But, hopefully nobody's concerned, because it's really nothing to be worried about.
Exactly.
At all.
Exactly. Yeah. So that's it. I think that kind of covers.
Yeah.
That's the full story. And then, so Kit and I left.
So that
you guys
was September to with December. We did the last episode of Nintendo Minute.
Yeah.
Your last day was middle January. Mine was a couple weeks later.
Yeah.
And then here we are.
It happened. The timeline was pretty fast. And ending Nintendo Minute was incredibly, like, emotional for us. I think a lot of you guys saw in my face in that video. I was trying not to cry. But it was like one of those moments where you're like, this is the closing of this chapter, and now we're going to move on to this new thing. And that was incredibly exciting too. So like, as we like moved into this new year, we were like both so like just so stoked to start this thing and like kind of cleanly end our chapters working at Nintendo. And so it worked out really well, I think, time-wise for us.
I'd of course had the morbid thought of like, oh gosh, one day Nintendo Minute's gonna have to end, and what's that gonna be like, and oh, that's gonna be really awful. But I think the scenario that we had was actually like the best case scenario, because we got to end it on a high note, kind of in a way that we wanted. Yeah. And by that time,
and together,
we were both really certain that we were going to do this other thing together. So it's like, all right, well, this is a chapter that we're closing the book on, but we're very close to starting the next chapter. So there's not that sense of like, oh, this is really the end, because
like this huge loss kind of thing. Yeah, it definitely was like, because we had basically grew up in that studio together, and when you make 429 episodes or something, it's going to be a little sad when you shoot the last episode. But surely it was like the perfect timing for us, because we were pretty much we knew we were going to be ready to go, in January, February. So
right,
here we are.
All right,
there you go. That's the
boom.
That is the tea.
What is next on this piece of paper?
Well, we are going to transition to our like Nintendo Minute-esque.
But we have to decide on the name of this.
Yeah, maybe you guys vote on.
We got Never a Minute or Still Not a Minute. I like Never a Minute.
I like Still Not a Minute. Maybe you guys decide.
Okay.
Vote. We'll put a poll up or something. Yeah.
Sure. All right. I mean, they're very similar.
But
so you should
they're
just
also a little different.
All right. Anyhow, so we're doing a Would You Rather game.
Yes.
Pokemon Legends Arceus edition.
Yes, we're deep into this right now.
Would you rather, one of the just hit categories for Nintendo Minute. Always a banger.
We call it the $1 Million Club, which is the 1 million view video. We have a few of those videos.
We had somebody at Nintendo who said, if you ever get to 1 million views on a video, this is early on, if you ever get 1 million views on a Nintendo Minute video, like, I'm going to buy you a cake, or there was something.
We never got a cake.
We got a bunch of 1 million view videos, and that never happened.
Where's our friggin' cake
Where's my cake?
Who's the person that said that? I don't even remember. I'm going to track you down, though.
Eat my cake.
Anyways, that is a exciting segment that we're excited to bring back to the podcast. Would you rather Pokemon Arceus edition? We have written them down.
Got 3 choices, excruciating choices.
You're always trying to look at my paper.
What am I going to get, like a millisecond heads up on this?
Don't look at it.
Come on.
In our fun show notes, you wrote yesterday when we were like putting this together, mind your business under yours.
Why did you just expect me to write it there so you could see it?
No, I did not. That's why I put the X's, you see.
All right.
Are you going to go first? Oh, this handwriting. I can't read your handwriting anyway, so it doesn't matter.
Well, I'm going to go first.
Okay.
Because I think we need to jump the gun on who's going to have the potato mochi, would you rather?
Oh, I didn't have that. I knew you were going to have that one.
Really?
Yes, you're so predictable.
What is potato mochi?
I sent you a TikTok on what potato mochi was.
I was shocked to learn that this was real. But I still am a little unclear.
How is it unclear? They made it in the video. It's like potato flour.
But I need to eat it.
I think it's like a potato, like a little pancake.
What is the mouthfeel of potato mochi?
What happens,
starchy?
What happens in Kirby's mouthful mode if he eats a potato mochi? That's a question for another day.
Oh, boy. We gotta get going here. All right, so here we go.
Okay.
First, would you rather eat nothing but potato mochi for the rest of your life, or would you get a real-life haircut from the old lady at the Jubilife barbershop? That lady is maybe approaching retirement age.
That lady is not...
Those first couple hair styles you get are not the best.
No.
And this is a major pet peeve I have with this game.
500 bones.
Why do I have to pay up front?
500
Why am I making this? Hey!
Why do I have to pay?
Why do I have to make this big commitment to this haircut that I might not even want to go through with?
Imagine if that was real life.
Yeah.
And you like walk to the place, like the barber shop, and they're like, I need $500.
Yeah. It's like, well, I can give you a bowl cut and that's it.
For a potential haircut.
Well, I guess I'll do it because I paid $500.
I'm not getting a haircut from her.
So you're eating the potato mochi.
I'm totally good to eat the potato mochi. This is something that maybe you guys will learn about me, but I'm one of those people that can eat the same thing every day. I wouldn't like it, but I could.
You've never even tasted a potato mochi in your life, and you're signing up to eat that forever.
But the TikTok video looks good. Makes it look yummy.
You didn't see him put it in his mouth. You don't know.
Maybe
you could just spat it out.
Maybe I should duet that video and make one.
Please make me one.
Okay.
Since you're making them on the daily now.
I'll make them.
Please.
Maybe my mom can make us one down. She's
never had a potato mochi.
There is a recipe in the TikTok video.
Oh my gosh.
I'm eating the mochi. I'm eating
Fine.
the mochi
All
for
right.
sure. 100%.
Good choice.
Okay.
All right. Let's have this.
My first question for you. Would you rather dress like Professor Laventon?
Is that how you say it?
I don't know.
Laventon?
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 Laventon. Is he Francais?
Say Laventon.
Is it
Laventon?
Laventon? Like
whatever.
lavender?
Whatever. I've got him in my next one, so whatever you say, we'll go with it.
Okay. Professor Laventon.
Yeah.
Sorry if we pronounce this wrong. Or... So 24/7, like the beanie, the whole thing. Like, I don't know. The outfit is crazy.
Well, he's wearing it 24/7 too.
Yeah, but I mean, you have like many, not like a dirty out, like you can wash your clothes.
Okay.
Because that's gross.
Yeah.
Or, I think you've already gotten to this part, and maybe a spoiler if you guys haven't, but oh well. Or have your chest hair look like Garrick, that guy in the ice area.
He's doing squats?
The squat guy.
Yeah.
First I was like, is he wearing a shirt with a design of that on there? And then I was like, oh, no, he has a tattoo. And then I realized it was his chest hair.
Really?
That is like shaved into that pattern. I'm serious because he has like mutton chops.
Okay.
And like his actual hair also and it's like three-dimensional.
I'll be honest, I didn't notice that at all. I did take a screenshot of him doing the squats, though. That's a good kind of character quirk. This is what I'm about. I'm doing squats all the time.
And I'm like wearing no shirt in like an ice area, but sure, whatever.
I'd go for that. Someone once made a fake picture of me that had a smash ball chest hair.
Oh, we should post that.
No, we won't. It's not safe for life, as they say. But yeah, it's an intriguing idea. You don't see a lot of that in life, so I give him the props.
All right.
So he's got two calling cards. He got the squats and got the chest hair. That's cool.
You need to look at the chest hair.
I'll go
Someone
back.
needs to tell me if it actually is chest hair.
What if you're wrong and I just chose it?
I think it's chest hair.
The
Someone
regret
tell me.
is setting in.
Tell me if I'm wrong, please.
All right. So I had a different take on the old prof and his outfits.
Prof L?
This is a long time ago. And people those days just wore the same thing nonstop.
The outfits in the game are confusing to me. Like some of them are very like traditional Japanese outfits, and then we got this guy who's wearing like a lab coat. And he has like a camera. I'm like, what time period is this?
I don't want to be left alone with him. But anyway, would you rather take off Professor, how did you say it?
Laventon?
Professor Laventon's hat, thrust your nose into it, and smell deeply? Would you rather do that? What do you think that's like? Or would you rather be reminded yet again that your inventory's full? My goodness, why does the game do that all the time? Who cares about this inventory?
Why can't it be like Monster Hunter where everything just stacks forever?
You just have the giantest bag. Yes. Why is it so important? And then there's the guy you got to go. But
it's one at a time.
Yeah, it's very slow, and it gets expensive. It's exorbitant.
I'm at like 8,000.
Yeah.
Whatever.
I finished the game last night. I should say. I didn't end up using half of that stuff, so I kind of stopped worrying about it.
Yeah, those berries, I don't use those. No. The flowers, I only use it for potions and making Pokeballs.
Right.
But anyways,
I'm a bag basic Pokemon
I'll
player.
I'll smell the hat. Because I can't deal with the inventory. I really can't.
Wow.
It's
your gag reflex is kingly. queenly.
What if it smells delicious?
It doesn't. It smells like potato mochi. Because he's eating that nonstop. He's always like, hey, let's go eat the potato mochi. Whether you want to or not, you're going. Hey, kids, come with me.
What if it smells good? What if it smells good?
It doesn't.
What if he uses nice shampoo? What if he takes really good care of his hair?
It doesn't.
What if...
You'll never know because he doesn't take it off.
What if he had like a chemical, like a...
He's sleeping in that hat. He's...
It's like tightly under his chin too.
It's a strange look. It's
That's why
very strange
you
look.
didn't pick it in the first one. Because you wanted the chest hair
I'm
tattoo.
I'm not the biggest fan of that. Okay.
The look.
No.
Okay. Okay, here we go. Number 2, would you rather? Here we go. Would you rather be trapped in a tiny room with an alpha Snorlax? Or have a licky tongue permanently live in your refrigerator?
Ew.
Imagine the food that will be licked.
So I'm in a small room, like let's say this room here.
Yeah. He's going to get you.
So it's going to be angry at me, right?
Yeah, it's going to be pissed.
Yeah. Can I leave?
No.
Oh. Well, that just sounds like a recipe for disaster. So I'm going to say not that. I'm going to take the licky tongue.
In the fridge?
Yes.
All your food is going to be licked.
Here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to become a big proponent of the freezer. You see?
You're going to only eat like chicken nuggets, frozen French fries?
I'm going to get a cooler every day, fill it with ice.
But what about your vegetables? That you have
they make frozen vegetables too.
That's not very nutrient.
Well, I got a licky tongue. What am I going to do?
It's going to lick it.
That's why it's not going in there.
It's going to lick that carrot. It's going to be bad.
Keep that licky tongue away from me. Ugh.
Ew.
That poor licky tongue. That's abuse.
The licking or the fridge?
The freezing.
Oh, okay.
Not the licking. Delicious food that it's eating all the time, but it's cold.
You can give it a tiny jacket.
That's abuse.
Put the professor beanie on his head.
You're supposed to call like the authorities if somebody's stuck in a fridge, like Punky Brewster.
Oh, you really just aged yourself.
Punky Brewster got stuck in a fridge.
Reference to Punky Brewster?
I'll do what I please.
Oh boy,
Thank you
this is
very
going
much.
downhill fast. Okay, go for it.
All right. Would you rather have a leaden ball dropped on your head, bonk, just like this, bonk, or would you rather get stepped on by an alpha Snorlax?
We all have been traumatized. You know, like that thing that's like...
Did you catch it yet?
I killed it.
Oh no, that's different.
I know.
You didn't catch it?
No, I still need to catch it.
I caught it.
I know you did. You
now I'm
told
done.
me a lot of times that you've caught this. This is like that meme is like, who hurt you? And it's like, Snorlax. Oh, man. So what am I, the lead ball? Oh, I need my head.
Lead, not a heavy ball, mind you. A leaden ball.
Leaden. I'll be stepped on. I need my brain.
Either way, I don't think you're making it out alive.
But what if he just like steps on my foot? And I just have a crushed foot
It's crushed.
for like a little while.
I know.
And then, but I can still think.
I don't know if you can repair that.
My brain is very important. I need it.
I guess I didn't specify where you would be stepped on.
Like my finger.
Where you would be trod upon, so.
He's so big. He's like my whole entire body. Like just. It's gonna hurt.
Oh, gosh.
Okay,
right.
yeah, the ball is good. I mean, the stepping on is better than the ball. I need my head. I really do. I need my brains.
I feel bad throwing those. You can't throw them very far at all. That's the thing. It's like it's like I could be here. I'm like, oh, I'm gonna make it, and it's like, no.
I only use it when I'm in a battle because I can't throw it far enough.
Oh, in a battle. Oh, I never use it in a battle.
Like when you like
No, you
wear it
sneak up on them.
I know. I don't use that because you can't throw it far enough.
Well, that's how you really get these. That's how you can catch an alpha Snorlax.
Yeah, or any
you've been doing this all wrong. I'm sorry.
Wait, you didn't even like battle him?
No, I had to do that.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I was like,
but
what?
I have a good success rate with these leaden balls.
Oh,
Yeah.
I'm not okay. Maybe this is my task for tonight.
Get on it.
/ beat the game. I'm very close. All right, last question.
Yes.
Would you rather travel everywhere inside of that Sneasel basket? Like the little eyes you're showing. Or every time you leave your house, you have to do that Snow Point Temple puzzle in order to get out. It was the worst puzzle.
The Sneasel basket is the height of luxury. Who wouldn't want to be carried around in that thing?
Trapped in there.
It's a rattan basket. It probably smells great.
Or does it smell
Nobody's
like
putting
of that guy's hat?
It's not his laundry basket. He doesn't have it. No. It smells great. It smells refreshing.
Smells like potato mochi.
Carried around?
You can get.
No.
You're gonna get like.
You could
sick
go
in
anywhere.
there.
Climb a mountain.
You're gonna
Great.
get like motion sickness.
lean back and
can't see anything.
chillax.
The tiny like.
At least you can see there's a little peephole.
Your little eyeballs just like out of the peephole.
No, I love that. That's one of my favorite Pokemon to get carried around in. Yeah.
The Snow Temple, though. I
wouldn't do that again.
Yeah.
I went straight to a guide. It's like, tell me what to do.
I tried the first one, and I was like, oh, there's 3 more? Yeah. Oh, no, thanks. I'm good, thanks.
Hook it up, IGN.
I think it was IGN.
Yeah.
I was like, I can't do this 3 more times. Okay, great. Would you rather?
Wonderful.
Still fun.
Still delightful.
We'll put the
Excellent.
questions in the comment section. Or, no, I'm sorry, the description box.
Yeah.
And you can tell us in the comments what you would pick.
Please do. All right. And we're on to the news. We need a good news.
No, we're not on to the news.
What?
We're talking about what we're playing.
Shoot. Yes. Well, it's a good segue because we're both playing Pokemon.
Yeah, apparently you beat it.
I finished it.
I'm close. I think I'm close.
This game's been out for a couple of weeks now. We can't just say the same things, people have been saying. We got to have some fresh angle on it. So,
what's your angle? You like
so I finished it. I think again, we're not reviewing games at all.
No.
But if I was, I'd give it an 8.5 out of 10. I love this game. This was great.
I thought it was great too.
This is what you start to think ahead, like game of the year. This game came out so early, people don't forget.
You're gonna forget.
About this
don't
game.
Forget.
That
this
always
is what
happens.
Yeah, you gotta be refreshed.
That was like Bowser's Fury last year. Like,
We're
what was that? Was that this year?
It's always like in December. You're like,
oh!
Wow! You're like, which games?
Yeah.
Which games came out when?
Right. Kind of as the game went on, I did kind of have some nitpicks about it. Like, early on, I was like, oh my gosh, this, it's not a complete open world because you're in these kind of smaller areas. They're actually pretty big.
They're pretty big, but they're still like self-contained, right? Yeah.
Right. They're self-contained, but it was like, wow, there's a lot to explore here. It's really fun just kind of coming upon the Pokemon. I am the Vista King, so I loved the Vistas. We'll come back to that in a bit.
Yeah.
Kind of as it went on, like I did feel like some of the areas were a little sparse.
That was my thing too. It was like, and also some of the areas got a little samey after a while.
Right.
Like it just felt like, okay, I've been here before, maybe? Yeah,
and then, I got really excited as you got the different Pokemon that helped you traverse different areas.
That was really cool.
Because I was like, wow, this is kind of like a Metroidvania almost, where you're getting access. So before it was like, well, how do I get
up that mountain?
I can't run up this mountain, so what do I do?
So you retroverse back with the Pokemon that can do that. Right. Which is pretty cool.
But then it was like, I didn't really find anything that was that different or that felt like that big a payoff to that.
Right.
Which I would have liked, which would have been cool.
Yeah. I still liked exploring and just getting up to places.
Yeah.
I thought that was pretty fun. And once you do get that Braviary,
yeah.
That's just, it's kind of like cheating.
It's a cheat code.
It's like a cheat code.
It totally is, yeah.
It's just like, I'm fine.
Yeah. How you doing down there, Pokemon? See you later.
Whatever, bye. Yeah. I think that one and the Basculin is my favorite.
That one's really cool.
It just looks cool. It's like a fish jet ski, which I really like.
It's awesome. You can do the double jump. Yeah. They didn't have to put a double jump on this Pokemon. Yeah, it's awesome.
It's cool. Yeah. It's like torpedoing out of the water. Yeah, I thought that was great. I mean, I was like, I was so happy to just get sort of a fresh take on Pokemon. The games are great. Yeah. We all love them. Okay, no offense. Not to disregard the games in the past or whatever, but it's just nice to see the development team doing something different and new and fresh, and it just felt like, it just felt different, and it was cool to see where we can push the Pokemon franchise,
Yeah. For me, I'm one of these people. I like Pokemon. I'm not the most hardcore Pokemon fan.
Yeah.
I tend to play every other Pokemon game.
Okay.
Because they can, they're typically coming out every year, and they can feel a little samey if you're playing them back to back to back like that.
Yeah, that's true.
So I played Sword and Shield. I actually really liked Sword and Shield. I skipped the remakes that came out late last year.
Diamond Pearl.
Yes, I skipped those. But then this is this is perfect because this feels like a completely different game.
Yeah.
Keep coming back. It's Game Freak didn't have to do this. They could have just kept making the games.
People would have still loved it and
People
played
love it. Yeah. and I'm sure it would have sold, those games always sell incredibly well. So it's not like there's some like urgent need of like, oh, this isn't
we
working.
have to reinvent it now.
Right.
Yeah.
So
it's like we just wanted to. Like, good for them.
For them to proactively be like, no, we're going to challenge ourselves, and making a game like that, there's no guarantee it's going to work either.
Right.
Like, this game could have been a dud.
Yeah.
And that would have been a big hit to the series. But no, I'll give them a lot of credit.
Yeah, that was cool too, because we had like started to leave Nintendo when the marketing got really like heavy on that game. So I actually like just checked myself out to not know these things anymore, because I just wasn't interested.
It's better not to know.
It's better not to know, exactly. And when we were in the week leading up to the game's launch, we both were like, oh, hope this game works. Like, it really could go either way. Like, we didn't see much of the game at all.
Seems very ambitious.
Yeah.
I guess we'll find out.
Fingers crossed. We hope for the best, kind of thing. And then immediately we were both like totally sucked into it.
Oh,
so,
yeah.
No, it's awesome. I'm very close. You're done. I'm very close to the end. I think I'll probably be done. We need to we were both like, we have to finish this game this week.
I think you can finish it
tonight, maybe.
Yeah, because it's one of those things where you do the main missions.
Yeah.
And you've kind of filled out all the stamps of the stuff you got to do. You're like, oh, is this the end? And like, no, there's more. And sometimes I like that, and sometimes I don't, because sometimes I'm ready to be done with the game.
Right.
So I was kind of like, oh, is this another 30 hours? But it was really fast, actually.
Yeah, okay.
And it's done. There's this big story. We won't spoil the story thing that happens. That kind of changes up how you see the world and how people see you. It makes it interesting.
I thought it was actually pretty cool. Like, I did too. I didn't expect that kind of drama in
it got
game.
A little, I wouldn't say mature, but it's...
No, I did. I was like, oh, this is real life right now.
Yeah.
Like, okay.
Real life.
We're grown. We're big girls and big boys
wow.
now. Okay.
The other thing, I find the debate around does this game look good or bad? I just find it funny.
Yeah. Every time you post anything, it's like, this game looks terrible.
I think it looks great. I do think some of the later areas just don't look as distinctive, and I can see where that criticism is coming into play.
Right.
But that first area, I don't know. I think that looks amazing.
That first area looks so good.
And all the views that you get.
The really expansive views.
Right. Vista King approved. I kind of put that first area in the same boat as the Great Plateau of Breath of the Wild, where it's you're kind of getting everything you're going to get out of this game in a small scale in this area, which is neat.
It's giving you a glimpse of the promise of the game.
Right.
I mean, obviously Breath of the Wild paid off that promise in an incredible way, whereas this game... there's definitely some areas where I was it's a little sparse and
and locale-wise, it's you got just the plains area, you got mountains, you got water, you got it all there, you got forests. I will continue to post my vistas. Please continue to criticize if you like. I don't care.
Everyone's entitled to your own opinion. The sky looks nice in this game as well.
Oh my goodness.
The clouds.
Yeah.
Sometimes it happens in real life.
There is something. For those people who've been to Japan, the sky looks different. The way the clouds are in Japan look different. And it looks like this.
The cloud, it's more filtered. It's like an Instagram filter. I don't know. I think it's cool.
I love it. So,
I like it too.
Yeah. So you're going to be there. But we got to finish this game.
So we can play Horizon.
Yeah. So we got this crazy schedule coming up. We have Pokemon, we got Horizon, then Elden Ring, and then Kirby after that.
That's good though. These are all very different games.
But we're going to hit a problem a week after Horizon when Elden Ring comes out. What are you going to do? What are you going to do?
Stop.
Tell me right now.
Pressuring me. I don't know.
I think I will volunteer myself
as tribute?
to lay back on Horizon and try out Elden Ring. Because we want to talk about that here too.
Okay, well, then that's good, because I really want to play Horizon. Because you didn't play the first one. I love the first one, and I'm excited to play this one. So maybe that's what we do.
Well, the first one came out around the same time as Breath of the Wild. And I was
I understand.
I think there was a couple week buffer. I don't remember exactly. But I was like, I don't want to play these big open world games, and maybe I'm not done, and I'm definitely prioritizing Zelda.
Yeah. I don't even know how I did it, but I did both at the same time, and it was kind of weird.
There's something about the game, I don't know, that is not immediately... It doesn't immediately grab me. For some reason, I don't know what it is. I played, that's Guerrilla, who made some of the old Killzone games. I played those, and I I was a little iffy on some of
That
those.
was the most like crazy story though. That the first one. You should at least maybe just read the wiki.
Oh, that's a good idea. I'm sure
story.
there's some video out there that's like, here's how to get
it
caught
was
up.
like crazy jaw drop moment for me at the end. I was like, what?
Really?
This is what's going on? Holy crap!
A twist?
I did not expect it. I did not expect it. Maybe I was just because I was dense or something, but I definitely did not expect that to be the ending. I was like, huh?
Okay. Huh.
Yeah. I don't know. Maybe, if you don't care to be spoiled, then read it.
Okay.
That's not the game we're supposed to be talking about right now.
Blah, blah.
Getting sidetracked. I want to talk about Sea of Thieves.
Great.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So while I'm juggling and playing Pokemon, I've been also trying out Sea of Thieves. Oh my gosh. And it's been really fun. I've been playing with some of my girlfriends. It's like we have like a lady pirate crew situation.
You have a funny name for this, right?
What is it?
Maybe you don't want to say it here.
Okay.
It's not like dirty or anything.
It's not dirty.
Yeah.
I think it's like pirate gals or
All
like
right.
privateer girl. I don't know, something like that. But it's really, really fun. So we did one of the missions. It was like one of the underwater, like the Black Pearl mission. The missions are like quite intense though. And this is my first time. So I did the tutorial to get myself ready so I wouldn't be completely useless to my friends. And then we kind of just jumped into this like big mission together. They do not hold your hand on this. Like there is no like, let me show you on a mini map where to go kind of situation. It's just like you have to figure it out.
Yeah.
But it's really fun because they really prioritize like the co-op part of it.
Right. It's
You're
four players?
Four
max?
players is the max. And if you're 4 players, you get on the big like galleon ships.
Yeah.
Which is super cool. And so we literally had like one person navigating, one person at the helm, like one person like manning the cannons just in case. So you do have like jobs sort of well divided out for everybody. And and then like there's like, a puzzle element that we went through. We did like a few bosses. We definitely fought a kraken, which was terrifying. But yeah, that's like something that I'm definitely going to be going back to. I think we were supposed to play yesterday, but somebody got real life scurvy. So just kidding. Someone got sick yesterday.
Oh, I thought you were referring to me.
No, not you.
Like, my teeth are great. That doesn't happen.
We were just joking around. We're like, oh no, you have scurvy. You can't play Pokemon.
You can't joke about that. That's not funny. Oh no, scurvy. Well, that's one of those games that got kind of a second life, a second wind when it came out. Xbox Series X and S, because it was on the old Xbox, which was kind of meh for a lot of people.
Yeah.
And I see a lot of people playing this game now. It's cool. Yeah.
It looks good.
I'm very interested. I'd be up for it.
Well, now that you're done, you can't
Oh,
with Pokemon because you were like, I don't want to play until
I've got a couple days.
Have
you done I remember the move from the original trailer where you bite into a banana, just peeling all.
Yes. You eat a lot of and coconuts.
You bite a coconut?
It's like a coconut with like the shell on it.
Well, if you're doing that with scurvy, it's not going to help.
Yeah, it is. The eating in that game is ridiculous. You're like holding a sword and then you're like suddenly holding a banana and you're trying to eat it to like get your health back. It's crazy.
No, that's cool.
You can play.
That's perfect. Why didn't I think of that? Like I got these couple days before these games. What am I going to do?
Yeah, you were all worried before.
Worried?
Like you're like, I gotta finish Pokemon. Oh my gosh. Well, I gotta finish Pokemon.
I do not like to juggle multiple games.
Oh, see,
I really don't like that feeling. Ever since I was young, I was like, I'm going to do this one. I'm going to finish that, and I'm going to move on to the next one.
This is where you and I differ.
Oh.
Because
this is how I'm done with Pokemon.
I know, and I've been playing Sea of Thieves.
Yeah, but you're almost there.
I'm almost there.
Yeah.
What else have you been playing?
I had Avengers on here. I played a little bit of that before Pokemon. I took it off because I kind of don't want to talk about it.
Okay.
I've kind of forgotten about it. It was a little forgettable.
Okay.
I was going into it. I was like, this game has kind of a mixed reputation. I want to check it out because it's on Game Pass. Mm-hmm. We both got Xbox Series S over the holiday break.
Yes.
We both got PS5.
Mainly to play Halo.
Right. We played Halo.
We played a lot of Halo over the holiday break. It's pretty fun.
Yeah, it's an older game, so if you want us to talk about that, you can let us know. You can do that in the future. But yeah, now I understand why it's a mixed opinion on that game. So I don't need to talk about it.
There's like a lot going on. Like it's very overwhelming.
They overcomplicated.
It's overcomplicated. Yeah.
Anyhow.
All right, now we can move on to the news.
And our lack of a news jingle. Can you do? You need a little ticker.
Yeah, that's the jingle.
Yeah.
Dale, help us out.
I like the news jingle from the 8-4 podcast.
Oh, yeah. That's
where they play Dragula from Rob Zombie. and they just replaced Dragula with the news.
With news.
Yeah. It's well done. Yeah, I like that.
That's a good one.
All right. So what do we start with? This Nintendo Direct?
Yeah, let's do Nintendo Direct reactions because this is our first Nintendo Direct not being inside of Nintendo. We were like outsiders. I was excited.
Now, I did know a little bit about what was in here. We saw some people saying like, "Oh, you guys should, do some reactions." It's like, it's a little iffy.
It's a little close.
It wouldn't be
completely
authentic because.
But maybe for the next one.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Far enough distance now. Yeah. I left a little earlier than you did, so I actually did not know anything in there, which was great. I was like, this is the first time I get to be a fan.
It's exciting.
Where's my summoning circle? Like, let's get going with that. Let's get going. Yeah, I was excited. So it was cool to be just a normal, just a normal fan surprised by the announcements again. But
wow.
Gripping his laptop. No, just kidding. But what all were you excited about?
Well, what really stood out to me is like they really did fill in a lot of that release calendar like really well. Mm-hmm. So I just run through some of these dates here. You got Triangle Strategies, March 4th. You got these Mario Kart 8 new courses, March. So you got Kirby, March. Week after that. Fire Emblem, June. Splatoon 3, summer. Xenoblade.
Sports, April.
Oh, sorry, yes.
Missed it.
Xenoblade, September. So, I remember like we would get kind of, there are times where we'd get deep into the year and like we wouldn't have, I mean, we would know there were games coming, but they were unannounced. And fans would get antsy like, oh no, there's no games. It's like, oh no. But this really stood out to me of like, wow, there's already a lot on this calendar and the year just started.
It's good to just tell people.
Yeah.
What to look forward to. That's what they want.
And a lot of these have like legit dates. It's not like, oh, it's fall.
Yeah,
it's
I hate it when it's like first half of blah,
blah. The worst is winter
half.
because it's like, is that this year or is that next year?
Oh, I hate winter. That's the worst.
I'm playing these games.
Holiday. I'm like, stop that.
What holiday?
Which holiday?
I celebrate a lot of holidays.
Is my birthday a holiday? So no, you're right. Yeah. It is nice to kind of plan your gaming schedule with everything that's coming out, and there's obviously other games on other consoles.
So I'll ask you a question. What's one thing that you were excited for and one thing you were not so excited for?
Mario Strikers was one thing I did not see coming.
Oh, I thought you were going to say I did not care for it all.
Oh my gosh!
Wow.
Well, I really got it. That was a reaction. I was like, what are you doing?
Zagged on me there.
What are you doing? Like, what's wrong with you?
Wow.
Okay, no, good. I said I did not see coming because I just didn't think in a million years
it's been a while.
Nintendo bring back that.
It's been a long time, yeah.
It's been a long time. That game is really cool.
Yeah.
And it looks good. I know you have like a little bit of like a thing where you're like, it looks aggressive, like Mario's
It's a little hardcore for a Mario game for me.
Like, Mario looks too angry.
But it's very fun to play.
It's so fun to play. And that was one of the first games I remember getting on, what is it, Wii?
Well, there was a GameCube one and then there was a Wii one.
The Wii one was the one that I think my friend got it for me for my birthday. And I was like, I think I didn't know much about the game before that. Yeah. So super excited. Had like just gotten my Wii, so I was like, this is so cool. But yeah, I'm pretty jazzed at this one coming back.
Well, what you need to know is it's not soccer, it's strike. Now, let me tell you the rules of strike. They're exactly the same as soccer.
Footy?
Why do they do that? Like, it seems like it's just soccer.
Football? Is it soccer? No. Is it strike? Is it footy? What is it? Who cares? It's going to be fun.
All right. So that's the thumbs up.
The thumbs up.
What about your thumbs down here?
Oh, thumbs down. Let's see.
Nothing?
It's not a complete thumbs down, but just personal, like small thing. For the Switch Sports, I just wish it was Mii's.
But they had Mii's.
But it's not Mii's.
I know what you're talking about.
I'm other kinds of things.
I'm being a devil's advocate here.
You're trying to get me back for what I just did to you at Strikers.
No. I agree that the look felt a little bland.
It was a little bland.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it's been how many friggin' years now? Like,
it's been a long time. The Wii Sports Resort was the last one.
Which was a great game.
I'm curious how they do those kind of Mii's versus those default characters.
I like those, yeah.
Why not just use the Mii's if that's there?
And that's like a brand thing. Like, everyone's used to, like, people were talking about, like, Tamagotchi Life and Miitomo. Like, we're using Mii's. Like, people use the Mii's.
Where's Woohoo Island, too?
Where
Now we're in your like beautiful terrarium sports club on the 52nd floor of Kit and Krysta Towers.
I know. This is like the executive sports club. Like we played like squash or something. Like after the big board meeting. No thanks. Whatever. What's going on? Yeah. No. Like, I agree. Like,
but then I watched the gameplay. I'm like, oh, I really want to play that.
No, exactly. Yeah. The gameplay all looks great. Like,
the beta test is this weekend. Did you know that?
No, I didn't.
But you're going to be playing Horizon. You're going to be busy. I want to try that.
Let's try it, though. Let's try it. Yeah. We can definitely try it. Volleyball.
Yeah, I'm not... It's not... I just want to do bowling, honestly. I just want to go right to bowling.
Really?
The bowling is so fun. Yeah.
Okay.
I want the bowling.
You can do the group bowling. Not group... What's it called? The big online bowling.
Right, yeah. A lot of online stuff in this game.
That's cool. The online stuff looks good. Yeah. Yes. Okay, so those are my two. What are your two?
It's Kirby and the Forgotten Land. We have seen a lot of. We saw a lot more.
There was the trailer before this.
This game looks incredible.
So good.
Like,
here's my hot take though on this game.
What?
Is the little like fox dog enemy?
Huh?
You know?
Yeah.
Is that cuter than Kirby?
No. How dare you? How dare you? Come on. No, I mean this. Again, it's like kind of going back to Pokemon. It's like they didn't have to go this hard, you know, to use a turn of phrase. It's just like so ambitious and like so much more beyond like what you ever seen in a Kirby game before. Like I'm sure it's not, you know, it looks like it has a lot of complexity, but I'm sure it's not going to go too far because Kirby games are you know, meant for a lot of kids play those games.
It's like very relaxing though, the way that the Kirby game pacing is. Like we played that other Kirby game and we were like, there was like complaints. I remember they were like, "This game's too easy," and I was like, "No, this is exactly what I need right now."
It looks beautiful. I am super pumped.
Yeah, it's gonna
for
be
that
fun.
game. Yeah, that's gonna be awesome.
Mouthful.
We gotta move on. It's a couple. I gotta say something about Splatoon 3 here.
Oh.
So.
I know what you're gonna say.
I'm very excited for Splatoon 3. Can't wait to play Splatoon 3. I'll be there day one.
Day one.
I'm not yet seeing a lot that is setting it apart from Splatoon 2. And I gotta say, that was my criticism of Splatoon 2, I'm not seeing a ton.
The thing about Splatoon 2 that was pretty cool was the single player mode.
I do like the single player modes in Splatoon. I'm sure this will, you know,
so
have a cool...
I was waiting for them to reveal that.
Yeah. Well, I think you saw a little bit of that in that first trailer, but it's like,
it's like that. Yeah, I don't have a good sense of that right now.
It's like, all right, Salmon runs back, but, you know, I'm sure that'll have some tweaks, but we saw that before. But it's like, what is the big new hook? And, like, visually, it looks... I mean, it's hard to tell the difference at a glance.
Yeah.
Again, I'm not, like, esports Splatoon guy, so maybe I just need a bit more hand-holding with that. But I was like, I want to see...
And there was, like, new weapons and some new, like, little things in the game, like the fish stick, whatever.
Yeah.
But, like... Yeah, like the overall look and feel just feels like one or two. I'm waiting for single player mode because I think that's going to be hopefully a differentiator because it's like very dystopian. So maybe that's going to be like the new like feel for it. Versus it being like very like I'm in Japan and like the Shibuya crossing or whatever.
That game comes out in summer. Still got a ways to go. Yeah. So we'll see. The other one. So Fire Emblem Warriors 3 Hopes. I'm very glad to see the 3 Houses characters and world come back. You know, that looked great. All the story stuff for that looked great. I gotta say, I couldn't be less excited to actually play that game, though. I'm an old time Dynasty Warriors like Musou game fan, and I just the way these modern Musou games play just does not click with me.
It doesn't feel the same.
Right.
Yeah, it doesn't have that like...
The weight of the impact.
Then the hundreds and hundreds of people that you're like busting through.
It just feels a little tinny. So, I don't know. I mean, weak. I mean, we'll see, you know, how it plays, but that's kind of my stance on these you know, current crop of Warriors games.
Yeah. We were both also talking a little bit about this Assassin's Creed thing. I'm a huge fan of Assassin's Creed. And I think both of our collective favorites were like in the Ezio collection. We're like, are we going to be disappointed if we try to play this game?
I don't know if we should do it.
I don't think we should do it. Maybe we don't want to taint our beautiful memories of playing that game.
That series has come a really long way.
I know.
And I just don't want to go back to it and be like, oh, this doesn't hold up at all.
And then like it just like gives you a bad taste, leaves a bad taste in your mouth for later.
Because these ones, I mean, I think this is a pretty straight port. It's not like they've you know modernized it. However, so
yeah.
What is,
All
what's,
right.
your, what's your? Let me ask you one more thing. These
No.
Mario Kart
questions.
8 Deluxe
these
courses.
courses.
What are your thoughts on this?
I want to play them on this show.
I think so. Mario Kart 8 Deluxe is like
The game
sold
that keeps
bajillion
on living.
bajillion
forever.
copies. I feel like this game is strangely underrated now.
Yeah.
Like, I still go back to that game a lot, and it's like plays so well. I mean, this was a Wii U game. Looks incredible.
Looks great.
The online is,
Works.
it's not fancy, but it
works.
It works,
That's
and
the main
it works
thing,
well.
that it works.
So I think it's awesome to be getting these new courses.
64
So some
new
people are like,
courses
oh,
like
just go to a new game. But no, I think this is great. I did see the complaint of like, well, these don't look as nice as some of the others. I kind of had that thought as well, but I'll wait until I see it.
Yeah, let's see it
I'll
first.
hold my thoughts on
Coconut
that.
Mall, though.
That is cool.
It needs to look amazing
Yeah,
because
yeah.
we all love the Coconut Mall.
Yeah.
I want to do this thing where we like blind pull courses out of a jar and then do like a let's play or
sounds
something.
fun.
We should
Yeah,
do that.
that
Maybe
sounds fun.
maybe when that comes out
Yeah.
very soon. All right.
All right.
Other things happening in the world of
Yes.
video games.
I pulled some stories from
you got?
good old Polygon. It's hard to find a site that has just video game news these days.
I know,
a lot of
that's
it, it's like,
true.
oh, we've also got
like
your
entertainment stuff.
your Marvel movie news or something, or
Yeah.
Elon Musk news. It's like,
Elon Musk.
why is this here? I don't know. Polygon though. Final Fantasy VI Pixel Remaster will be released on Steam and mobile February 23rd.
Kind of interested in that actually.
But are you interested in Steam and mobile? I certainly am not.
Mobile maybe.
There's this interesting game that sometimes you see this more so with the Japanese developers and publishers of like, well, if we see the support, we'll consider it.
Yeah,
It's like,
they do that a lot.
But why not put these on consoles?
Yeah, if
like,
you're doing it anyway.
how big, like the audience for this?
Yeah.
And you're getting so much feedback from people who really want it. Like, what are you waiting for?
What is the additional lift that it needs to that would take to do that when you built the engine already? Like it just seems weird.
Yeah, like so many of those games would be like instant buys for me if they were on like Switch. I would jump on the whole
That's a
thing.
perfect Switch game.
All of these, right? So,
But I might play it on mobile.
pass.
Really?
Pass. Yeah, I'll wait.
It's not that expensive.
Summoning Circle, my Summoning Circle.
You're summoning. Take out those Final Fantasy. Let's
go.
We'll
All
put that right here in the
that's
middle of the
that.
studio.
More Steam news.
Steam Deck. Steam Deck.
nears 300 verified games as testing gathers pace. Valve approved.
You're just reading the headline?
This headline makes no sense. Valve approves
approves
150 games in a week. Are you getting a Steam Deck?
Not day one.
Yeah, I'm not.
Yeah.
There were those pictures
Someone
that came
convinced me that
out
I'm
of like
wrong.
how big it is.
Yeah.
And it's like, well,
That's not
I always
appealing to
knew
me.
it would be big. I mean, that's quite big.
It's very big.
The idea of playing like a PC game on the go is cool, but at the same time, it's like I feel like I'm getting, some percentage of those games just on the other consoles I have. So I'm
exactly.
like, I just feel like this would be collecting.
I'm also in like
dust.
a different mindset when I'm like, if I'm really going to get into a PC game, like I'm in a different mindset.
What is that mindset?
It's like I want to sit in my dark room
Yeah.
with my crazy headphones on
Oh.
and like put it on my beautiful,
Yeah.
screen and
That's interesting.
have a keyboard. Like, why would I play a PC game? Like, I don't know. I just feel like that's just not the way that I like the enjoyment that I get playing a PC game is because I have all those other doohickeys.
Sure.
So
Okay.
it's like I have a Switch for the on-the-go stuff.
Yeah.
If I want to play a PC game, I'm gonna for realsies play
See
a
what
PC
you mean.
game.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Okay.
yeah, but that's good that they're doing this verified stuff because remember that was like a big thing for like Wii, where it was like the shovelware era, where it was just like a bunch of stuff, and you're like, oh my gosh, I can't.
I think this just means that it works, runs properly
exactly.
on the device.
Yeah,
which
and
they
then there's
need
some
to.
like quality control, right?
I mean, 300. I mean, there's a lot of games on Steam. More than 300.
There's a lot.
My gosh.
Yeah, but it's good that there's quality. There's some like criteria of making it through this quality.
Yeah, I'm
control.
curious. Once people start getting those in their hands, what people have to say.
Yeah.
This next one we'll go through real fast. The Sonic the Hedgehog Super Bowl trailer.
Oh, the Super Bowl.
Did you watch this trailer?
I did.
And?
Surely did.
You bought your tickets? You gonna be there?
I have no desire for this.
Oh
Why, you do?
no.
You don't?
I don't think the world's ready for my thoughts on Sonic the Hedgehog,
don't
so I
think so
won't. I
either.
won't go there.
Yeah.
I will say though, I haven't seen the first movie. People seem to really like it.
Why did this movie come out so close to the first movie? How did they do that?
What do you mean? It's been 2 years.
Oh, really? Oh, wow.
I actually think, so we're recording this on Valentine's Day. I feel like that first movie came out on Valentine's Day like
Did
2
it?
years ago.
Why do I feel like it just came out?
It came out like right before the pandemic, I remember.
Maybe the pandemic like messed with my sense of time.
I feel like it does put a lot of pressure on the Mario movie.
It does, that's true.
Where it's like, hey, we've actually put out 2 Sonic movies that people really like.
And you've put out no Mario
And there's like nothing to be seen besides these,
voice actors.
head-scratching cast announcements.
Yeah.
So, again, it's maybe they're going after different things, but it feels like if I was making that movie, I'd be feeling some heat.
That's not a bad point.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean...
That said, I will not be seeing this movie.
That's it. They got some interesting cast members in the Sonic movies too, though.
Oh, yeah.
Right? Like, that's always...
Yeah, no, their casting's good.
Their casting is interesting. Yeah,
right,
so...
right.
No, I have no desire for this.
Okay. Next. This was interesting. This was a late-breaking thing that I had to add.
Put this in
Capcom
this morning.
teaser has Resident Evil and Street Fighter fans speculating. Have you seen this teaser?
I have not seen this. Tell me about this.
So they posted something last night, Monday morning Japan time.
Okay.
That is just like a clock, and it's like I think it's a timer, and the clock will run out this weekend. And it's a very like straightforward, like black and white numbers.
I like this.
It's like 6 days, X hours. So it's like, what do you think it is?
Oh. Resident, but that's not...
Well, again,
it can't be,
this is what happens when you do one of these teasers. People make things up.
They make things up.
And they talk themselves into things.
Like a frenzy,
and they get disappointed. So a 7-day teaser, that's a long time.
That's a long time.
People can come up with a lot of theories.
But maybe it's so good that they're like, we're cool with letting people like turn on this for 7 days. What if it's that good? This is where I talk myself into it. What do you think it is?
It's something Resident Evil related because... So it's about a year since the last Resident Evil game came out, Village.
Village, which I was too scared to play.
And I don't know if it's going to be, the next big mainline Resident Evil game, but... I have to imagine they're always working on something for that. They've been doing all those remakes. The proper Resident Evil 4 remake? That could be exciting.
That's true. Those games were less scary back in the day.
I think they were always scary.
No, the new ones are too scary.
Oh, okay.
I had a hard time with the last few.
You struggled, yeah.
I got a headache. I did not play it in VR, first of all.
No.
Don't do that.
That's not recommended.
Yeah.
That's really not recommended.
Maybe it is Street Fighter.
Yeah. It's been a while since we've
That's what I'm saying, because Resident Evil, it's like...
Maybe this headline's onto something.
They have been sharing a lot of stuff. Things are coming out for Resident Evil. So this kind of bigger tease...
If you're going to let your mind run wild, Capcom's got a lot of games and franchise... No. I don't think it's Mega Man. I would love Mega Man.
You want Mega Man.
I do, but...
Open world Mega Man.
I refuse... if they did like the Kirby Forgotten World.
Exactly. How cool would that be?
Now I'm going to get upset when it's not what I want.
Not open world Mega Man.
I'm going to rage. I got 7 days to rage. All right, we got to move on. We asked for questions.
We got so many questions.
I counted them. We got over 600 questions.
Thank you for your questions.
It's amazing.
It's amazing.
So obviously we cannot do them all.
No. But we'll be doing questions every week.
Yeah, we want to do this every week. And a lot of these are just like we could answer them anytime. So I think we'll be going back to those 600.
Yeah. But we're going to prioritize our Patreon questions.
Yes, we're starting with our wonderful Patreon subscribers. First question is from Paul.
Mm-hmm. Hi, Paul.
Do you game much on PC? And if so, what kind of a setup do you have?
I did build a PC.
When?
During the pandemic. Like everybody else in this world.
I don't think I knew that. I didn't do that. You and
me and Henry Cavill.
Yes.
I looked exactly like Henry Cavill in like a tank top, and I'm like putting together, like bobbing and putting together my PC.
Right.
No, I did build a PC actually because I was like, maybe it's time because I didn't have one, and I don't know, I was bored. So no, but I have a pretty legit PC now.
Wow.
Yeah, and I also recently got this really cool screen, one of those curved widescreen monitors. So I'm ready for PC gaming.
Ready for what though?
But I don't know what.
But what are you doing with it? Nothing.
I know exactly. This is my problem. Is I don't have a game that I'm like dying to jump into.
Yeah.
But if people have suggestions, I would love to get into it again. I mean, back in the day, I was a huge PC gamer. I played a lot of like World of Warcraft.
You and I played Diablo 3 on PC. Yeah.
I also played like a lot of like strategy games, like Civ and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So that was always really fun, and I always enjoyed those games on PC. But yeah, I haven't gotten back to PC gaming in a while.
So you built this PC, and you have done nothing with it.
Exactly. The building part is fun though.
All right.
You know, you gotta like look for a cool case. Mine has like rainbow like lights in it. I'll take a picture. It's really cool. Yeah.
I don't do PC gaming.
You don't, yeah.
Because I've had some really like unfortunate experiences with it. I have had some fun LAN parties.
LAN parties are the best.
Like when I was in college, but
yeah.
There's always something that goes wrong, unfortunately, in my
Yeah.
experience, and there's always something that needs to get updated, or there's some issue you don't know how to fix.
Yeah, or like something like really weird happens to like the hardware
Right, like,
inside.
oh, this isn't compatible with that actually, or it's like, oh, it can run it, but not very well. Yeah. So I really do like consoles for that, where it's like it just works, and you don't have to fiddle with it. And, you know, more and more consoles have become a little bit like PCs, where it's like, well, do you want fidelity mode or performance mode?
Yeah.
So, no, I am good with my consoles. And,
Okay.
maybe Steam Deck is the answer, where it's just like, you just have this hardware, and that's what, I don't know. We'll see. But for now, I am on the sidelines of PC gaming.
Okay. All right. Vinny.
Yes.
Vinny. Do you guys plan to have guest appearances on the show? Absolutely, yes.
As soon as we figure out how to do it,
Yeah.
we will.
Exactly. We just need to get a couple episodes under us, I think.
Well, that's, you know, when we were doing Nintendo Minute, we had a team of people helping us with the technical side of things. Now it's just us.
Oh, yeah.
So if it, you know, looks bad or sounds bad, we're to blame.
We're to blame, but be nice.
And we're doing our best. We're learning a lot.
Yes. I watch a lot of videos on editing.
So that is on our to-do list, and we will get there. And we have some very fun guests in mind.
We do, yeah. And you know, I think that's a big desire of ours to get going on. All right, Curb. Not Kirby, but Curb. If the video game industry was not an option, what career path do you think you two would have taken? Oh, that's a good one.
Yeah.
That's a good one.
Why don't you go first?
Is it because you don't have an answer?
Go ahead. I'm thinking.
Still thinking about
I'm thinking.
I think that I would have loved to do something in like the world of design or art. Oh. Like one thing that's really cool about doing this is like you and I have very different skill sets. I think on like obviously we're like this is the main thing, but like there's also like stuff that you have to do like as a business person, like you have to make like social media graphics and do stuff like that. And so I get to do some of that now. Right.
You do all of that because I sure can't.
That's what I'm saying. Like it's good that one person has a skill set in one area, and one person, you know what I mean? So, but yeah, I would have loved to have been like a graphic designer, or you know, I thought about like being an illustrator or something like that. Yeah. But like that would be so hard, I think, to break into that industry. Like it's just such a competitive place, and yeah, even like art for video games would have been like amazing, but those things never like crossed for me, unfortunately. But yeah, it's cool that I get to do some of it now, though.
I'm still thinking.
What about?
You know, I really put all my eggs in the get into video games basket.
Okay.
Coming out of college, unfortunately, I did. So I didn't really have to think too much about this. I guess something else that could be fun to work in, but again, it's like super hard to get into is like, you know, sports marketing.
Oh, yeah.
You know, we're here, we've got a lot of sports teams in the Bay Area. That could be fun.
That's true.
I don't know, but yeah, that seems like more of a long shot than video games.
It does. It's like almost like celebrity relation, like that kind of stuff would have been tough.
You know, very few of those openings. So I don't know. I'd just be screwed, I think is the answer. Yeah.
Oh.
So
good thing it worked out in video games.
Harsh truth.
Good thing it worked out in video games. All right. Next.
Kevin. We know Kevin. We've met Kevin.
We have met Kevin.
Yes.
Hi, Kevin.
Kevin's wonderful.
Thanks for your question.
What are your top 3 favorite party games? Please go.
Well, we talked about Mario Kart. It's going to forever be on my party game list.
It's a good
forever. One. Like Mario Kart is always there. We recently played with some of our creator friends.
Oh.
Jackbox games.
Yes.
That was cool too.
Those are fun. Yeah.
Those are really fun, and it's always like good to if you have a huge group of people. for Jackbox games because like, you know, you can have like unlimited amount of spectators and people just kind of jumping in and stuff. So that's always good. And then my last one is one that you will not agree with because I don't think you like this game very much.
What is it?
Overcooked. See? I love Overcooked.
I guess people are getting mad at each other at this party.
I play with my cousins a lot. Like, it's fun.
I find Overcooked to be stressful in too much of a real life way.
It's too like, you don't like the multitasking. I think that makes you nervous.
I don't think it's very fun to multitask. Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
See, I think it's fun.
We played it though.
We played
several
it. It's
times.
super fun.
Chopping onions.
Chopping onions and playing Overcooked.
Yeah.
Yes. What are yours?
Smash Brothers.
Oh yeah.
And I'm very staunchly in the camp of Smash Brothers being a party game rather than this, you know, crazy, intense competitive game. No offense to those folks. I like the more kind of casual. I like items on. I like for as many players as possible.
3 stock Final Fantasy no items.
I'm using all the levels. No. Yeah. That's definitely my number one.
Yeah.
Another one that I used to play, this is an older game, but I think it will just be in my Hall of Fame, is the original Soul Calibur on Dreamcast. It's one of those games
a blast from the past.
where I guess it's a little bit like Smash Brothers, where you could just pick up and play and actually do well, but you can, you know, really master it too.
Yeah.
And that was one of those games that was so visually like appealing at the time. It's like, whoa!
Watching.
Yeah, it's fun to just like sit and watch too.
Yeah,
Get a crowd gather around. And yeah, put Mario Kart number 3.
There you go.
Yeah, there you go.
All right, moving along here. Hi, Kit and Krysta from Michael. Hi, Michael. You said that in the past, Nintendo gave you a lot of freedom and access with Nintendo Minute. Now that you're independent, you have more freedom but less access. What can you do now that you weren't able to do before you left? Great question.
Michael's pinning us down here.
Yeah. What can you do? I think we talked about this a little bit in Nintendo Storytime today, but it's like, yes, we were able to share like a part of our authentic selves with you. We did obviously have a lot of access to the developers and to events and all that stuff.
And we don't have that anymore.
We do not have that anymore.
We are not affiliated with Nintendo in any way.
Right. So, but the trade-off though is that you get to share, you know, we get to share like all of ourselves with you now, and we can talk about anything we want. We can really, you know, there's really no limit to the honesty and the transparency that we have now. So it's a different kind of freedom and a different kind of access, I guess. But yeah.
I agree. Now we're on to some questions. This one's from Twitter. Randy at Slippy Crick. Don't go to the crick and slip. You know? Maybe that's what that's getting at. Maybe you've already told this story, but what was your first impressions of each other for work?
Aww.
That's a fun story.
That's a good question.
So you were when I went to interview at Nintendo, you were the first person who greeted me and the first person who interviewed me, which was very nice.
So I started at Nintendo a year before you did.
Right.
And yeah, it was like we were still building.
Grilling me.
I was not grilling.
You were.
Not at all. I was such a nobody back then. I was like the lowest tier on the team, I think.
So?
Just doing my thing, you know. I don't even know why I was interviewing you in the first place because I had no business doing that.
Oh,
like,
that's
so
silly.
what do you think about marketing? Is that what we do here? But yes, I remember that. And then you started at Nintendo, but you were like kind of shy in the beginning. I feel like you're very like...
I'm antisocial is the truth.
I didn't want to be mean and
whatever you want to call it. Introverted.
You're introverted.
Yes, I'm all of those things.
I'm like an ambientvert, but...
What does that mean?
That's like you're extroverted sometimes, but then like you need to like reset yourself.
Okay, that makes sense.
I'm an only child, so like when I go home, it's like silent. So I'm like, don't talk to me for like 24 hours. Now that I've talked for like,
but you're in your mom's house right now.
Don't talk to me for 24 hours. But I remember like you would not talk to me. Like you were very.
I wouldn't talk to anybody.
You were very like in your little like thing, and then we started talking about we were both playing Fable.
Fable 2.
That was the game that was. I was like, oh. Can't be that bad. He likes Fable. Yeah. Okay, cool. We can be friends. Thanks, Fable. But yeah.
No, I'm one of those people who's like, I'm hesitant to approach people, but if somebody like you comes, I'm glad to have a conversation.
Yeah, but it's like a tough thing with you. And also, like, you're very, like, with me, you're obviously not like this anymore. It's been freaking 14 years, so hope not. But like people always say that you're hard to read. Like at work, you're like very calm, very like even keel, like no emotion, no reaction. Like something horrible could happen. You'd be like, okay, let's think about the solution. And I'm like freaking out, you know? I'm like, what am I gonna, this is terrible. And you're just like, yeah, very bad. Okay, we'll figure it out. So it was like, it's like hard to like worm my way in, like show me like some emotion.
But no, I appreciated that because it's like, oh gosh, I'm at this new company. I don't really know anybody. I'm trying to figure things out. And again, I've got this like bad layer of introversion / whatever that's like hard to get over. So once I get to know somebody well, I really open up.
You do.
So thanks for that.
Aww.
Yeah.
Became friends.
We did.
All right. 1UP Level Up at 1UP Level Up Game. Oh, what's the game? I want to know. What is your favorite non-gaming hobby? That's a good question too.
We might have the same answer.
I'll pick a different one if you pick.
Okay. I like cooking.
I was going to say.
I do enjoy.
We both obviously like cooking.
Maybe you've seen how many cooking videos were on Nintendo Minute. There's a reason we like to do that.
Do you guys want a spin-off cooking show? Please answer yes, because I want to do it. Our first recipe will be potato mochi.
Oh, gosh. You need to make one and taste it before I make it.
Okay, fine. But yes, we both like to cook. Yeah. But you're very into it. Yeah.
Yours?
I'll share my pandemic hobby. I picked this up right at the beginning of the pandemic last year because I was really bored, and I learned to sail. Wow. So I've been sailing. I live in the Bay Area, so it's great. We have this beautiful access to the bay, which is just right there. So I'm like, wait, should I be like out there? What are people doing? It looks fun. So yeah, I learned to sail a boat. I'm full on Wind Waker Link. I think it's super fun. If anyone else is a sailor, let me know because I want to talk to you about it. And I really enjoy it. It's like super relaxing. You're just like out in the water. And I took a whole bunch of those American Association classes. So I'm like fully certified and everything. And
so cliche just being in the Bay Area and sailing. It's like when you go meet somebody who's from like a landlocked state. They're like, bro, do you surf to school?
I did do like the San Francisco native cliche, which is learning to sail, but I'm not. The reason why people do it here is because it's friggin' awesome. So
yeah, it looks fun.
It's really fun.
Still waiting for my invite. Anyhow.
Anytime.
Lucia Martin on Twitter. If you were to design and develop your own game, what kind of game would it be?
I have an answer.
I have an answer too. Why don't you go first?
Mine is definitely one of those like relaxation games. Like I love my
cozy vibes?
My cozy vibe bedtime games. Like I just want to like go get in bed and like have a candle and play these indie games. This is what I want. Okay, I don't care what anyone says. It is literally the best feeling ever. But I would love to design like a very relaxing, maybe like a mix between like a short hike and like I don't know, like another kind of like a walking. What was that the other game we played with the kids that were camping?
Oh, it's a strange name. Something jacket, wide ocean, big jacket, big jacket, wide ocean.
That's it. I was like, what? It's like those two games like mixed together.
Yeah,
I would like that.
Nice.
I would make that game.
Yeah. Well, my completely honest answer is I know how hard it is to make a game, so I wouldn't do it.
Oh, I don't want to do it.
Yeah, I absolutely. But if there was somebody who would help me do it, I like 2D platformers. I enjoyed when we were doing Mario Maker levels. Like, I love doing that.
That's fun.
And like, but you could see like, oh my gosh, you can like tune this until the end of time.
Yes.
And you kind of have to hit the point.
You still be a little bit like dissatisfied.
Like, oh, this pixel is off. So
this jump is not quite.
No, those were super fun to make, and again, I don't think I have the capacity to do anything more complicated than that. Yeah. So that's my answer.
All right, Felix.
I'm so excited for this question. What is a dormant video game IP you would like to see revived?
I need to think.
Oh, I have one.
What is it?
Dark Cloud. Have you ever played Dark Cloud?
No.
Dark Cloud is an old PlayStation 2. They made two of them. Dark Cloud 1 and 2. Dark Cloud 1, I didn't play it. That was kind of pitched as like, oh, this is the Zelda killer for the PS2. I didn't play it. Dark Cloud 2, though, is really up there in my favorite games ever. You look like you never heard me talk about this game.
I've never heard you talk about this game ever. How did that happen?
It still has this kind of Zelda-esque feel to it, but it was, cel-shaded, incredible graphics, incredible music, just immaculate like action RPG where you're crafting all this different stuff. It's been like 20 something years, so it's been a long time.
All right,
again, one where why are you making this face?
I'm making this face because I have no idea what you're talking about.
These comments are going to roast you.
I'm sorry. There's some video games I haven't played before.
The face you're making is you're wrong.
I have no opinion because I don't know about this game at all.
The people know. The people love Dark Cloud with me. Please make one, Sony. Thank you. Next.
I didn't answer the question.
Yeah, what's yours?
My answer is Rhythm Heaven.
Is it dormant?
I think it's pretty dormant.
Is it really dormant?
I haven't seen a game in a really long time.
Ouch.
What is our definition of dormant?
I'm talking, mine was 20 years.
How many years has it been for Rhythm Heaven?
I don't know. No.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
There was the one, so there was the Wii.
That was 10 years ago.
Wasn't there a 3DS? This is where we just look bad. We got to move on. This is nonsense. People expect us to know this stuff.
No.
Okay. Wow, you're very impatient. What was your lunchtime routine while working at Nintendo? This is a good one. I went through many phases of lunchtime routines.
Yeah.
I gotta say, when we got started the second half of our time, people stopped eating lunch.
People stopped eating lunch.
It kind of stunk because there were so many meetings and so many things to do.
Yeah,
There's
at noon.
People would book meetings at noon, which is a bad move.
Or just like book meetings for the whole day until you have no break.
Yeah, don't do that. Don't be one of these people if you're booking a meeting. Leave that time open. And it was like, well, there's no time. So it's like maybe I would have 5 minutes to eat something like...
I did not agree with this choice that you made.
What are you talking about?
To not eat. You used to drink those things. And
that's
like that.
Oh, fine. We're going there. Fine. We'll talk about that. So
I didn't like that.
When we were at a big show like E3 or for when I had absolutely no time in that back-to-back scenario,
no.
I did have some bottles of Soylent.
Disagree.
Which I did not like. I did not like to drink, but it was the only way that I could actually fuel my body, okay, and make it through the day. Otherwise, I'd be getting hangry. I'd be getting chippy with you. I don't know what
Chippier than
what other option? If there were other options, please tell me.
You also were staunchly against eating lunch in a meeting.
Oh yeah, that's disgusting.
I am too.
Yeah.
I'm kind of disgusted.
It's gross.
Honestly. Like people are manhandling their
They're
mouthful.
like talking with the mouthful.
Kirby mouthful mode with this freaking cookie or whatever.
Tuna sandwich.
Grease all over the place. No, this is where we're so glad we're not in the office anymore.
I just can't.
There were some fun times at the Redmond office because they have a cafeteria there.
Right.
And there was no cafeteria in our office.
Sushi
Tuesday.
I didn't eat that.
You didn't eat that.
No, I was skeptical of the sushi.
Skeptical and scared of raw fish at a cafeteria.
I'm gonna go to a nice sushi restaurant if I'm gonna get
all right,
sushi.
Fair. Yeah. Their hand rolls are not bad. But yeah, we would go downstairs. That's always
that
fun.
Food was good on the whole.
Food was good. Yeah, food was good. And you would go downstairs and you would see like Reggie would be down there eating lunch or like
everybody's
cool.
there.
Everybody's down there eating lunch. So that was always fun. But yeah, I feel like our office was like our little Redwood City office. We never had any food.
We weren't close to anywhere you could get food either.
It was like by the
was the problem. It was just like, a series of like office parks.
Buildings. Yeah.
So you had to drive 15, 20 minutes to get anywhere.
And if you don't have the time, what are you going to do?
And then we finally got this kind of sad like vending machine situation. And they had this thing that was
like the airport.
I'm still baffled by this thing that was they positioned it as a sandwich, but it was a piece of salami. And the bread was supposed to be 2 pieces of cheese. And this was the sandwich. Like, what kind of animal do you think I am?
Oh my God.
Bring that into your VIP meeting. You laughed out of that room.
Was there like a cracker?
No!
Okay.
It's like that KFC. It's like, come on.
Oh, what donuts?
No, it's like the 2 chickens with the cheese. What are you trying to... You're making me look bad here. Give me a break. All right, next question. Last question. Have you considered doing other types of videos on the YouTube channel? Maybe some Let's Play style videos or reviews? Yes. Well, Xavier, this is from Spaceman Xavier. We might have something we're working on right now that might be out in the next couple days, actually. Yeah.
But yes.
Yes, we want to do all sorts of things.
Just give us a minute.
Getting some ideas, getting some equipment, getting ready.
We got to get ready. Yeah, we have to. We want to get this going in a stable way, and then we're gonna expand quickly. Yeah. So yes. Oh my gosh! Wow. Are we at the end? I feel like we've been talking for.
Give yourself a letter grade on your performance today.
A+.
No, come on! Don't be one of those people.
Really?
A+. I
don't want to give myself a grade.
Oh, you really believe it?
I thought it was really fun.
Okay. Well, yeah.
Like in terms of if I had fun doing it, or do you think I did a good job?
I'll rate your performance today.
Oh, I don't know. B?
I'll give you an A-. It's good. I'll give myself a B+. See, you're better. You're above me. So you just slap me with a rundown.
Toss the run-up show on the floor.
The first show abuse has happened. Of course, episode 1 it had to happen. Well, you just put it down, but you have some very important outro details to get through. You have to do this.
I have to do
Whenever
this?
we do things like that on Nintendo Minute, you have to do this.
You're bad at the giveaways.
I can't remember these details.
All right, the details are, don't forget to subscribe on Patreon to get these episodes early.
48 hours. Long hours.
48 long hours early. Patreon.com/KitandKrysta. We'll put it here or somewhere where you can see it. And of course, thank you so much for making this possible for us. We can't do the show without you guys, so thanks so much for your support. And you guys a lot of you have already done this, but please follow us on all of the other social channels. Yes. We're on Twitter. We're on Instagram. We are on TikTok, Kit and Krysta. We've had lots of fun,
we're doing things.
Fun things already. We've been talking to you guys and responding to your comments, and you're asking your questions on there. So we're going to continue to build that community on our social channels. So follow. And my favorite thing to say.
What?
Don't forget to subscribe.
Yes?
Smash that like button.
Bang it. Bam.
Hammer that notification bell. Do it. Leave a comment. Give us a 5-star
review. All the things.
Yes, do the things.
If it'll let you do it, do it.
Just do it. Just do it. Trust us. You want to. Now I can drop the second runner show.
Episode 1. In the books.
Episode 1.
I got a high five. Yeah.
That was kind of lame.
All right.
We will see you next week.
That's right. We'll be back.
Okay, bye.
Bye.